You remember that time in literature class when you had to learn about poetry and you learned about Edgar Allan Poe and you learned about Quoth the Raven Nevermore? Well, we have a movie here called Raven's Hollow that will be premiering on Shudder on September 22nd. Before I get into my review, I'd like to ask if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, comment below your thoughts on this film, and also turn the notification bell so you never miss any review that I make and I upload weekly. And now without further ado, let's dive into this new Edgar Allan Poe film. Raven's Hollow is about a West Point cadet named Edgar Allan Poe and four other cadets on a training exercise in upstate New York are drawn by a gruesome discovery into a forgotten community. The film stars Melanie Zanetti, William Moseley, Kate Dickie, Caleb Woodhouse, David Heyman, Caleb McGowan, and many more, and was also directed by Christopher Hatton. Raven's Hollow starts out with these four men on their travels, one of them being Edgar Allan Poe, and they actually find this man who is hung up like a scarecrow, and he's on the verge of dying, and he mutters these words, Raven. So he ends up dying there, and they take his body back to the nearest town called Raven's Hollow. And when they get to this town is very gothic in structure. There's a lot of blacks and browns. The only really white that's really involved with this town is this church. They have a bunch of these people outside by these graveyard stones, and they're asking them if they know this guy that they found, and they basically deny that they don't even remember this guy or know who he is. And you really get a sense right away that this film is going to be kind of creepy. There's going to be a little bit of a mystery to unravel. Edgar Allan Poe, he's at the front and center trying to solve this mystery that surrounds this town. There's lots of atmosphere with this film and also a lot of tributes to Poe, using the names like Lenore and Usher, and also having the famous sound of a beating heart, and also having the legend about this raven. So the townspeople, they talk to Poe and they always point to the raven. So this has this legend upon this city, and he wants to investigate everything that's really happening because it seems like it's something supernatural or something involving this raven that the townspeople keep pointing to. With this being a period piece and having a mystery solved, I thought that the film was paced rather well. I really do like a lot of the different shots in this film and having the whole shadowing and lighting that they do in this film, while also having this whole dark gothic kind of structure. At night they don't really have much lighting, so they use this fire, and then during the day the sky is really dark gray, it's really grim. It definitely feels like there is a lot of death in the air. It feels like there isn't a lot of life in this town, and a lot of the townspeople, they're just kind of trying to hide and really get away from this so-called raven that they keep talking about. The costumes fit well for the era. For the townspeople, they wear black because it's this gothic kind of town, and most of them are pale white, whereas the cadets, they wear teal with a mixed brown. There is a few graphic parts in the film, but the film is not overly gory. However, I feel like the deaths are horrifying enough to really keep the viewer's attention. The chilling score in this, I thought they did a really good job of having the score really actually be effective during eventful times in the film and also non-eventful times in the film. I didn't really like the love story in this film. I didn't really feel like it was needed. It felt very forced. The film also has some budget restraints that really hold it back from being a dark tale, and because it really holds it back, it really makes the film feel kind of bland. I think that it needed a little bit more spicing up to really elevate the film a little bit more. Most of the scares don't really do the trick for me. They feel very surface level, and also because of the budget, it really does bring the film down a little bit for me, and I think the score and atmosphere really make up for the lack of scares in this film. So I really feel at the end of the day that this film is just an okay film and not really a rewatchable film for me. It has some atmosphere, it has some great tributes to Edgar Allan Poe, which I really do like to learn about him and learn about his life and what he really went through. Now, this film doesn't focus on his life. He's just really an investigator at this film. And I feel like this film, it has a little bit of horror elements, but at the same time, it really feels more so just a mystery thriller rather than having a lot of horror into it. So I'm gonna give a score of this film a 2.5 out of 5. It's an okay film. I didn't hate watching this film. I enjoyed it enough. I just don't think it's really a rewatchable film that I'm gonna revisit anytime soon. But thank you guys for watching this review, and I'll see you guys on my next review.